Hey guys, well it is Friday the 6th of March and it's early enough in the day. I think it's about 11:21, and I've just done my little walk and I'll tell you about that at the end. So this is my weekly update and it has been a very strange week. I'll show you the clips of each day in a moment. But suffice it to say, it's been a week of trying to chase the sun. And the weather has been very changeable down here. Some days were glorious and some days were complete washouts, as you'll see. And so I've been sort of over and back quite a bit, driving all over the place, trying to stay in decent weather. But I got some lovely walks in and I wasted a lot of time as well. So why don't we jump right in? I'll show you the week and then I'll do a wrap up of today and the week. Hey guys, good morning. It's about 8:15 on Sunday morning, and I don't often do a video of me before a walk, but I'm doing this one just in case I don't come back. So I'm going to try and do 20k and 1600 meters today. So it's a big hike. This is going to be the biggest and the hardest hike I think I've ever done. So big challenge. They say it takes 8 hours, so we'll see. So I'm going to head off now in just 2 or 3 minutes, and fingers crossed. Talk to you later. Hey guys, well, what a hike. So I'm back in the camper van. I've had a shower and a shave and put on a laundry, and I'm sitting here sort of in a state of shock. So I did 21 kilometers almost, and 1,400 meters of ascent in 4.5 hours. So the walk up was it was an interesting walk actually. I walked up from the Nurka Caves, there's a park near there. I just parked there and I walked from there. So it was about a 6 kilometer walk, well 5 or 6 kilometer walk into the mountain, and you're walking on gravel, the hardcore mountain roads, paved occasionally in concrete, where the flood waters come down to divert the waters away, but mainly just dirt and rock. And it's nice, there's nothing wrong with it, it's nice enough. And it's a climb the whole way, so for the car park onwards, it's just a climb. And but a gentle enough climb. It's not a hard climb. And then at about 6 or 7 kilometers, you leave the track and you start properly climbing. And some of it was rough enough, some of it was stony, rocky, loose rocks, some of it was just dirt, and some of it was hard packed, hard rock, just solid rock that I walked on. So it was okay until I got about 500 meters or maybe 750 meters to go. And at that stage I'd only done 1,100 meters of ascent, and I did 300 meters of ascent over 500, 600, 700 meters. Boy, it was tough. It really was. And look, here's me at the top of the mountain. What I had to say for myself. Well, I made it to the top. So 10.5 kilometers. I think I've done about 13 or 1400 meters of climb. So I'll probably have a 15 or 1600 meters by the time I get down, because a few ups and downs on the way down. The last leg up to the top of the mountain here, I think atrocious. I'm up in the clouds, as you can see, and big cross here behind me. And the last piece up, I'd say I was just a couple of hundred meters, but pretty much straight up. So that was tough. But I'm going to rest here. Just had my cup of tea. Going to rest here for a few minutes and head back down. So you see, actually it was cold up there. I was up in the cloud, and it was cold, and I wrapped up, put on my I had everything taken off except a t-shirt like this. But I wrapped up when I got up there. I actually did something I haven't done so far. I actually stopped for about 10 minutes and I drank my tea and I ate an apple. That'll give you an idea how tough it was. And then I pretty much ran back. I sort of walked, a mixture of running and walking back. I ran on the paths and on the loose stuff, just sort of hopped from rock to rock. And when I got down to the hard packed road, I walked most of that, maybe half of that in. So it was a spectacular walk, but I'm knackered. I couldn't, it's interesting, when I got to the end of it, if somebody said to me, oh, you have to do another kilometre, I don't think I could have. It was really, really tough. But lovely. So it was a big challenge I put up to myself to see could I do it, and very, very pleased with the walk. And that's sort of it. I'm here, the sun has come out, and so I'll just show you out there. You see the sun's shining, but you can see the sea's quite rough. There's been a lot of wind, so there's a lot of waves. Sea's quite rough, but the sun's out and the breeze is good because it'll dry my clothes. So I'm going to go up now in a minute and get my laundry, get the clothes rack set up and get everything dried. And then to see, I did my sheets, everything, basically everything. So tomorrow when I start off again, when I leave, I'm starting fresh. So I do I usually get about the 2 weeks. This is my second time doing it. So I got the first 2 weeks and then I did a big wash, and now second 2 weeks. That's out of it. I'm probably going to have some food, I think. I'm not quite sure. You know, it's funny. You come to the end of a walk, you're sort of in a state of shock. I'm sort of sitting here just looking out the window. So I'll probably have some food in a few minutes, get the old body going again. So that's it. That's it for Sunday. Talk to you soon. Hey guys. So it's Monday and I left the campsite this morning and I drove over to Malaga. I left about 8:30, 9 o'clock, drove to Malaga, just drove along the coast and drove around in Malaga. Not a lot to see, to be honest with you, but the town centre, there's an old pedestrian area in the town centre that's sort of pretty, but there's not much else to the place. So I drove around there and then I came out the coast outside of Malaga and I parked up and made some food, and I read the paper and read my book for a while, and then I came out to here. So this is a recreational area and sort of recreational park, and they got an old church there, Ermitas San Miguel, whoever he was, Angangel or something, God only knows. But I came out here anyway and I've parked up. It is, not sure what time it is, about 4 o'clock I'd say, or maybe look, see. It's 3:30 and it's overcast, about 16, 17 degrees, maybe 18 degrees. No sunshine really. The sun's there, you can see it up there behind me. It's trying to come out but it can't. So no walk today. My eggs ache a bit after yesterday's adventure, but also I think my plantar fascia is coming back a bit. Maybe I'm overdoing it, but my right heel was very sore when I stepped out of my bed this morning. One of the things that's sort of interesting about that I like here in Spain, they have these water fountains where you have spring water and it just sort of flows all the time, and it's drinking water. And you can see down there, just look down there, see the guy down there behind me at the fountain. But what he's doing there is he's filling up loads of drinking water, and it's really good quality. It tastes lovely. So I'm going to top up my water supply in a minute, and I can't unfortunately fill my tank because there's no pressure coming out of this. It's just there's enough pressure to pump up into the tank, and won't pressurize the hose and pump it up into the tank. So all I can do is fill up my water bottles and things with it. But that's okay, that's good. It's all lovely drinking water. And it says here, there you go, aqua potable, agua potable. It says with a pH 7.8, and magnesium 22, calcium 50, something else, nitrous, sulfur's 10. So it's not cool. So that's it, that's my update. Nothing really much happening. I'm going to sit and read now for the afternoon. I might go for a stroll around this park just to get some air. But basically my plan is just hang out here, read, get a good night's sleep. And I haven't slept well the last couple of nights. So try and get a good night's sleep tonight. And I have a hike planned from here, it starts from here up there. That mountain you see up there behind me, that one there, the hike is up there tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Apart from that, nothing to report, guys. All is good. Hey guys, it is 1 o'clock, just after 1 o'clock on Tuesday, and I'm down here. You can see where I am, down at Cabo Pino, where Michael Ryan, my old friend, has an apartment. I stayed here years ago when I first met him, and had a wonderful experience. So I popped in here and parked up here around lunchtime. So you can see, you know where I stayed last night, in up in Torremolinos. You can see the lovely moon set this morning at 6:30. I was up early, up about 5, and read the paper, did the usual, and hit off for a nice walk, an interesting walk, about 9 kilometers, maybe a little bit more, about 600 meters of ascent. And I did it in 2 hours 40, I think, or 2 hours, 2 hours 40, 2 hours 45. And it wasn't a great walk. You can see here some nice shots here. Very rocky though, some nice paths through sort of vegetation, but it was all overgrown, so I was scratching my legs like there was no tomorrow. But mainly it was loose stone, a lot of loose stone. Pretty much the whole hike actually was loose stone. There was one particular section where I was walking on a concrete irrigation pipe's about that big, and that was it. You're walking on the edge, there was a cliff down the left hand side, and they'd put a piece of plastic roping, not rope, sort of a very thin thing fixed to there that you could hold on to and you'd over. Well, I wouldn't trust that to save my life. But yeah, so the walk was okay, and I'm glad I got out there and had a good walk, and I enjoyed it. But it was very hard going. There's no real comfort in walking on loose rocks, and they're anything from gravel right up to things this size. And when you're walking on them after an hour or 2 or 3, it's not funny. So, but having said that, it was what it was. It was interesting. I parked up last night, as you know, in Torremolinos, and just north of a little car parking area. There was nobody else there except me. I was the only one. And I think it's the first time I've parked somewhere where there's nobody, and I was very conscious of it. It's sort of strange. I've parked on my own where there's nobody. Let me rephrase that. I've parked up the side of a mountain somewhere where there's nobody, but to park down beside a big city, and where there are lots of people moving around, and you're on your own, your camper van, I found a little bit strange. And yeah, I don't think I'd do that again. If I'm in a built-up area, I like to park up where there are other campers. Just sort of more security that way. So yeah, so I'm down here in Cabo Pino. Tomorrow I'm going to do an easy walk. I'm going to do a coastal walk tomorrow. No elevation at all. There's a lovely walk I can do from here. I can do maybe up 15-20k walk along the coast, and that's what I plan for tomorrow. It's warmed up. The forecast here is very strange. It keeps telling us it's going to rain, and keeps telling us it's going to get cold. So it is overcast, sort of hazy, but it's warmed up. It's nice and warm, and no wind. There was a lot of wind last night, so that everything's covered in dust, including the van. I'm going to go up in a few minutes and clean off the solar panels. And there's rain forecast for tomorrow, but I'm looking at my window here around the side door, and It doesn't look like much like rain to me, but we'll wait and see. Their idea of rain is one shower. So yeah, all is good. Nothing much to report. Enjoyed the day so far. Just had lunch with a big sandwich, a whole big end about that long, stuffed with coleslaw and rocket and onion and chicken that I fried up yesterday. Sort of a marinated chicken. It was very nice actually. So that's me well and truly stuffed. That's me finished for the day. I'm sort of down to one meal a day. Maybe just a cracker or an apple and a bit of cheese or something in the evening. I'm really trying to just reduce my calorific intake in total. And I find that in this nice weather, you're not hungry. And of course, as we know, the exercise, be it running or be it trail, out in the trails, it suppresses your appetite. So I'm sort of happy with that. I want to eat less. So that's sort of it. All is good. That's Tuesday's update. Talk to you again soon. Bye. Hey guys, it is 5:30 on Wednesday evening, and believe it or believe it not, I'm back over on the far side of Spain, north of Almeria, up at Vera, where I stayed before, or Vera. So I had my walk, yesterday, did all of that, got back, had my shower, had my lunch, did all of that. And I went down to the beach, and I sort of read on the beach, and that was sort of fine. It was lovely. And then I came back up to the bar, the lovely barn in Capopino. I knew the weather wasn't going to be great, but I planned to do a coastal walk. There was an 18k walk out and back, 9k out, 9k back on the flat on a boardwalk. I said that'd be lovely, easy walk after the previous day. But when I got up this morning, it was raining. And not only was it raining, there is a plume of dust come up from the Sahara, and it's covering southern Spain at the moment. In fact, I can feel it in my breathing. So you couldn't see out the window of the car of the van, because all the windows were covered in this sort of dust, and the rain turned it into sort of a muck. So anyway, I cleaned the windows, and the rain continued, and I looked at the app and it said, well, the rain will stop at 10 o'clock. Then it said the rain will stop at 11, then at 12, then at 1, and then I looked at the app and it's going to be raining all day. So obviously they're not great at forecasting over here. But and not only that, the temperature was low, there was low teens, and it was forecast to continue like that for the next few days. So I looked around on the coast and kept working my way down the coast, see where was up the coast I should say, see where was the weather better. And up here is sort of the nicest weather. So you can see what I did today, this afternoon. I had my lunch, I fried up some eggs, I had some toast and eggs, it was lovely. And I drove 4 hours pretty much straight across to here. It was a long drive, and it was super windy and super wet for most of the way over. And then I left the rain behind, as I'd seen on the app, left the rain behind and came to here. So it's about 20 degrees here at the moment, all hazy because of the dust, but and a bit of a breeze, but it's lovely. So I'm going to stay here for a few days. I think I'm going to chill here, go do some simple easy walks, and so no walk today, no exercise at all today, and I feel it actually. But so I should stay here for a few days, do a few easy walks, and wait for the weather to improve. Enjoy the best of weather's here. So it's going to be 18, 19, 20 degrees here, I think, for the rest of the week, and dry. So maybe shower every now and again. So I think I'll hang around here. So that's all my update for Wednesday. Not much to say really. Nothing much happened except I drove halfway across Spain again. So that's it. Hopefully I'll have something more to report, or something more meaningful to report tomorrow. Cheers guys. Hey guys. So you can see here where I'm parked. I moved down to this little town, Outreau. And you can see across there, some guy's obviously planning to go to Africa or something. He's got the machine for us for sure. So, what a saga. So, an interesting day yesterday today. So you know my story from yesterday. I drove, it was pouring rain where I was, and it was cold or whatever. So I said I'd go to the sun. So I looked at the weather app Aku, and it told me where to go, where there's going to be lovely weather today. And so I went there. I went back to Vera, whatever it's called. I like that spot. So I went back there, and I drove my 4 hours or my 4+ hours to get there, and parked up and had some food and did some reading and went to bed. And about midnight I woke up, this all merciful bang, and I was scared the pants of my head, banged my head. Actually, I jumped up so quickly I whacked my head off the unit above me, and I started, what was that? And I listened, couldn't hear anything else. So I lay down again, and next minute there was another one, and this time there was a flash of lightning with it. So we had a ferocious biblical thunderstorm last night, and it went on for about 3 or 4 hours, and thunder and lightning and rain like you've never seen. And look at this, wait to see what it was like this morning. Look at this. This is what I woke up to. Look at this is where I'm parked, and the sea came right in here. Amazing. We had torrential rain and thunderstorms last night like you've never seen. Wow. So that's what I was looking at when I woke up this morning, and I looked out of the van. Absolutely incredible. The whole place was flooded, and the sea had come up, the river had come down. So anyway, I upped and I drove up to Consum, a local supermarket, and I parked up in the car park there and went to get myself a baguette and some more salad so I'd have some lunch. And I sat there and wondered, what would I do? So I looked at the app and said, where's the weather nice? You won't believe it. It said the weather's nice back where I was. So I said, I'm not going back the whole way back over to Campopino, not doing another 4-hour drive. So I turned around and did a 2-hour drive back that way, back here to Montreal. And yeah, it was an easy drive down. I left the rain behind after about an hour, and I came here, and it was a beautiful day, 18, 19 degrees, but but it feels warmer, 18, 19 degrees, although it's quite breezy. So I came and I parked up here and had my lunch, and I was just finished up my lunch, and this camper van pulled up beside me. I gave the guy a wave, he gave me a wave back, and a few minutes later he came to me, he said, I think you're leaking something. I said, beg your pardon? He said, I think you're leaking water. So I went out, there was water pouring out of the van everywhere. So you couldn't make this up. So straight away I started investigating, looking where it could be coming from. And the tank at this stage, the 80 litres had drained. And I found that down where my boiler, or my water heater is, another one of the joints had come open. So there was water everywhere, you can imagine. So I drained out most of the water and mopped it up as best I could. Now the fact that this was lower, it was down at below the floor, so at least it wasn't flowing around the cabin. It was flowing underneath the floor and out through any holes there are on the underside or the underbody of the van. So I found the errand spot the leak, and I went and tightened them all. They're all loose, every single one of them. Every single fitting where the pipe fits into another rubber one, and you have a ring and you tighten this up with a screw, and every single one of them is loose. Now I don't know if they were just left that way when they were fitted, or I don't know if it's all the driving around, the bumping and banging, loosening them, although I can't imagine it does, but maybe it does. So I went and tightened every single one of them again. And so that was an excuse, gave me a good excuse to go and sort out the van in terms of getting rid of my black waste and my grey waste, filling it up with water, filling up the tank with diesel, washing the van because the van was manky dirty. And so I went up to his garage on the far side of the town, about a 10-minute drive, where I seen on Park for Night that they had an area for dumping black waste and grey waste and the car wash and all the bits and pieces if you were filling up with gas. So I went up and I filled up the tank, and that's an interesting comment, by the way. I used up almost a whole tank of diesel driving over and back, or certainly 3/4 of a tank of diesel. So I used up €100. And it's sort of interesting, you don't think about this until you realise I've just spent €100 just driving over and back, wasting my time really. And so anyway, I did all the necessary up at the garage and came back down here. I went for a run, so I didn't have a hike today, but I went for a run along, there's a boardwalk, a lovely boardwalk along by the seafront. So I went for a run along the boardwalk, and hang on a sec. So I just had the police came to me. You see them out there? They just came. They're really nice. They're really friendly guys. They came and they just told me, you're taking up 2 parking spaces. You can only take up 1 parking space. So I just have to reorientate the van now in a second. But anyway, so I came up and had my run and just had a shower. I'm just going to have a glass of wine and I'm going to read for the evening. Don't know where I'm going to go tomorrow. I think I'm going to wait till the morning and see what the weather looks like, as opposed to the forecast for tomorrow, see what it actually looks like tomorrow, and find a hike nearby. When I was coming down on the drive over, all the mountains were covered with snow. So obviously that downpour last night, up high, it fell as snow. And I looked at a couple of nice walks, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes away, and they were all said snow tomorrow. So I'm not going up the mountains. I'll have to find somewhere I can hike along the coast. So that's sort of it. That's my update. The saga continues, but all is good. Cheers, guys. So there you have it, guys, including what you just saw there, my walk today. I went out and did about 10k of the flat, just a loop along by the coast and up through some farmland. And wasn't it amazing to see the guy ploughing with the horse? An observation, agriculture in Spain is enormous. It's beyond enormous. It is at an industrial level. You drive through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometers of orange trees or lemon trees or olive groves, or then tomato groves. It's just incredible. The scale is incredible, and they've all this mechanization, all these tools, and yet you see guys out there ploughing like that, or you see hundreds of obviously North African labour out in the fields picking all that food that we eat, or pruning trees. It's really, really quite remarkable. It's a very, very strange country. I don't know how they would do what they do without the cheap labour. But the scale of the agriculture is mind-boggling. I mean, it really is mind-boggling. So I'm still in the same place in Montreal, or whatever it's called, and on the coast here. It's a nice little town. And I think I'm going to stay here tonight. I just don't feel like driving anywhere. I'm kind of knackered from the driving. It was a good week, I suppose, overall, despite the wasted 2 days, I suppose, trying to avoid the weather. It's supposed to be raining this afternoon, and the sun is shining. It's lovely out there, but it is cool. I'd say it's 16, 17 degrees, and there's a breeze, so you feel how cool it is. A big, big change. But I'm going to stay where I am. I've decided I'm not going to move back east. I'm going to keep heading towards Portugal, and I'll take whatever weather comes. And if the weather's not as good for a week or two, then I just gear up, I think. And I want to get over. I don't want to be back retracing my steps. I want to get over to Portugal and get moving. So I think I'm going to hang around here today, have a shower, have some food now in a minute. It's about, I don't know, it's about maybe 2 o'clock or what time is it? Yeah, no, 1:15. So I'll have some food, have a shower, and hang around here today, and then I think tomorrow I will start heading further along the coast, back to where I was originally, back down towards Cabo Pino, down whatever, and then Marbella, and heading down towards Gibraltar and across into Portugal. I'm sort of excited to get over to Portugal, to be honest with you. So that's my update for the week, guys. And what can I tell you? It was an interesting week. A couple of awesome walks, one in particular, some nice just easy walks, and then a couple of wasted days of inclement weather. But all is good. I'm good. The van is good despite the leaks that I've discovered and fixed. The van is good. Everything's working just fine. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers, guys.